understand what is wrong with our team. I don't understand how we can go from being so dominant in England, winning the Premier League in comfortable style, to not being able to beat Brentford away. I don't understand how we are so unorganized defensively, and it's so easy to concede chances, to concede goals, and to nearly bottle a whole game. I don't understand how how difficult it is for us to build up chances and build up play. I don't understand why this manager picks players that should not be starting. Salah should not be starting. Kirk should not be starting. And if you think I'm not one of those fans that just because this player scores or just because this player does this means excuses them. No. Salah and Kirk would have got zeros, but their goals bumps them up to a 2. It's a great goal from Mo, but he played so average. He played so out of his depth today. Passes were going wrong. Carquez was so immature. He wasn't tracking people. He's making such stupid decisions. It's like watching me play FIFA. It was it was just painful. It was pure painful. I don't know why Robertson doesn't start. I don't know why Chiesa gets neglected so much. I can't believe how they fucked that up. Shut up. Shut up, because I know who you are. Shut up. Ah, this you maybe lose my train of thought. Um, I felt so disconnected watching that game. I felt like watching an Ireland game. We played so poorly, and from the when the game started and I saw how we're going, I was like, oh, here we go again. Like Cork is not properly tracking. It was a Shad, whatever the fuck his name is, not tracking him properly, and I can see it. I'm like, okay, there we go. They scored. Honestly, I would have lost my fucking shit if that was a few weeks ago. But now I felt so disconnected from a Liverpool game, and I can't believe I've had to say that. I did, I did. I felt like we just weren't in it. Didn't have any hunger. They wanted it more, and if we would have equalized, it would have been absolute robbery. And if we would have equalized, I'd have been like, okay, cool. I wouldn't have gone crazy. I wouldn't have celebrated. I wanted us to equalize because um we should switch to Man United, to be honest. We probably honestly should because they're ahead of us in the league. So, and the fact they're ahead of us in the league and they bet us at Anfield makes me physically sick, sick to my stomach. Um, but I don't like we can beat Frankfurt 5-1. We can play really well, but then when it comes to playing Brentford away, we're just an absolute shell. Who did we last beat in the Premier League? It was Everton. Everton. Like that was that was over a month ago. Like we haven't won a Premier League game in over a month, and we're Premier League champions. We're out of this title race. Fucking Sunderland are ahead of us. Sunderland, newly promoted Sunderland are ahead of us. Man United are ahead of us. Arsenal are ahead of us. We are out of it. Done. And we're Premier League champions. Disgraceful. Absolute disgraceful. Um, I've seen people in the comments there now switching to United. Probably best bet. Um, hello, Amy. Hello, you two fuckers. I know you're starting shit up in the chat. Fuck off. But this game just shows how weak we are. Ekitike was right to play, but just did not get involved whatsoever. Gakpo tried to do stuff, but I just don't understand why Mo Salah plays 90 minutes. I don't care that he scored. It was a great goal. I don't care. It does not excuse the absolute shit that he was today. He would have gotten a 0, and so would have Kirkes. But as I said, it bumps up to a 2. Even if Salah got the equaliser, a 3 probably. And there is going to be people who will excuse his performance because of that goal. And those people just need to stop watching football because it's not the 50s anymore. You don't get man of the match just because you scored. If you play shit, I'll call you out for playing shit. Because that's what he was. Shit. Just shit. And he should not start against what do we have? Was it Palace? Then or is it Brighton? Either or in midweek. Should not play against Villa or City or Madrid. And he will start probably all three, because Slot has favourites and Slot doesn't hold everyone to the same standards, which is really disappointing. Um, what is a Liverpool? What is a Liverpool? Perfect. I don't know what is a Liverpool. A Liverpool is meant to be Premier League champions, but I was performing so shit at the moment. Should we switch our French project to Man United? Um, no, because that goal was from when we were good. So no, and Man United were shit in April, so no, we're gonna stick with Liverpool. Um, the refereeing today was so poor. I don't get how. Right, Gakpo not a penalty, not enough. Yet Van Dijk tips your one, and he falls in a completely ridiculous way. It's a dive, but referees don't know what dive is. They think no contact whatsoever is that's all it is for a dive. It's not. If they make if they make any bit of a fall that is not natural, that is a dive. It is a pure dive. Um, when we were good, but not anymore. Not that exaggerated, but like it's just we're just shit at the moment. We're in a like Man City were the same last year. They never recovered. I'd be really hard to see us recovering. Um, I don't know what it's gonna be. I think it's just waiting for players to click, but also for Slot to stop being so naive and dropping players. I like the stream by the way. Yep, thanks, perfect. P crash out. It just needs to be said. It needs to be it needs to be said. Because I like our football team is in an absolute rough patch, and criticism needs to be made. I like there are so many fans online that I like, but they're saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be criticizing this. He did this and that." But you can't praise a player, but then say you can't criticize him when they have a good game. You can't have it one way or another. If Mo Salah had the game of his life, scored a hat trick, I would have said, Mo, well done. Please turn it around. This is why you're my favorite player. But since Mo Salah had a shit game, I'll say, yep, shit game. You can't double standard in football. There's a lot of hypocrisy in football, but you just gotta try and be honest. You have to hold everybody to the same standard. I really don't need to know that person in the comments. I don't need to know that. Um, but I like some players did play good today. Szoboszlai I think was my man of the match. Sometimes he just mucked about, but I think he looked calm on the ball. He was controlling the ball. Um, Jones at bits he did really well. There was one point where he had like three players around him. He spun past him, and I was like, fair play. And I'm not the biggest Curtis Jones fan. I don't know why he starts sometimes, but I think he's getting better, and he's getting better. So when Grammars comes back, it'll be competition. But who else didn't really play that good? Ektiga didn't get really much service, but he didn't stick himself into the game really. Bradley, I mean, wasn't as bad as he was against Chelsea, but not as good as he was against Frankfurt. Nowhere near. Van Dijk and Kanate were fine, but like, I don't know. I like. There's just some moments where I was like, "What are we doing?" Honestly, thanks for subbing. I cannot pronounce that name, but yeah, thanks for the love. Um, what's this someone said? Um, Liverpool lad is good too. Thanks. Manchester United. I'm from Manchester United. Oh, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Like this is the thing with football. You're gonna have the rough. There is so much. There's so much time in football. You're gonna experience bad patches, but there's so many other teams who have had a lot worse. But we have to call out. Have to call out. I'm Irish as well. If you couldn't tell, like I think it's kind of obvious. But uh like I think we won't change as a team performance wise unless we change the players in it. Salah is not subbed off, and the fact he played the full 90 absolutely disgusts me. Um, he scored the goal, but like the fact Gakpo got subbed off when he was performing better, just double standards, higher pedestals, and every manager does that, but they hide it well. Slot doesn't hide it well at all. Um, and I really, you thought I was British, I sure you did, yeah. But he needs to fix it. And like Salah goes off for AFCON, and if Chiesa does not start all those games, then it just proves that Chiesa had an affair with his wife or something. Um, you're from Mayo. Oh, that's good. I haven't been to Mayo. Mayo seems nice though. You thought. Oh, Utah, yeah. Utah's an interesting state. Yeah, very hot there. I was just say that. But I don't know where we go from here. We have big games for the November break. Um, I don't really see us if we perform like that. I don't see us winning against Villa or City or Madrid. I just see more average performances, more points dropped, and more crisis videos being made by me. Um, I was like, just watching that game, and I didn't get angry until at certain points, but especially at the end, I got like I just put my head in the hands, and I was thinking, how have we fallen off this badly? Like you could call it overreaction, but we have not won a Premier League game in over a month, and we we're playing so poorly in all of them. And do I think they'll improve over time? Probably, but at the moment, it'd be hard to see. I'm gonna head out, keep doing. I'm gonna blow up one day. Have faith, peace, and love. Thanks, perfect. What county am I from? I'm from Wexford. Um, so do I think they'll improve is a good question, but long term, yes, but short term, no. I feel like this season could be just one big off season, um, or like just a write off season, and then we come back and do better. But I don't know what's wrong with Salah. I think it's a really interesting um question. I did make a video, but I didn't really get to elaborate on it a lot. I think Diogo's death is affecting Mo because like Mo was really really close with Diogo. Like Diogo was close to a lot of people, and his like death was so unexpected and such a tragedy that it hit them hard. So it's that as well, but like I don't understand how Mo can be one of the best players and then perform stinkers like this. Can we collab? Like a collab for what? I don't like. I'm not sure. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? So's my neighbours. I've been there. It is lovely. Yeah, I like Wexford. I don't mind. I think Wexford's nice. Has some nice places. Um, I think Casey just has to start from now on. I don't get what is. He has to have done something. There's no way he can be benched and witness Salah drop stinkers and be fine with it. Like he's happy here. He's not gone to slot about it. Well, as we know. So I don't get what's happened. Did they have a fallout that they don't want people to know? Like he could have done that last year. Like last year, he could just hide behind, oh, he's injured, he's this, he's that. Which yeah, fair enough, he was, but he's not anymore. He's fit, he's playing well, and he deserves to start. So what's the excuse? What's the bullshit? What's the lies now, Arna? Like I do not want Arne Slot to be sacked. I do not think he should be sacked. If we sack him, this is a short-term problem. This is not a long-term problem yet. If it gets to Christmas and it's still like this, then it is a long-term problem. But right now, it is a short-term problem. And if we sack him, that will just blow up everything he's accomplished here, right? Everyone's saying it's a Jurgen Klopp team. It's not. Jurgen Klopp did not make Gravenberch one of the best holding midfielders. He did not get Salah to have its best season. He didn't have Gakpo to be one of the best wingers in the Premier League. Um, he didn't get what's his name? To get McAllister to have his best season ever. So on paper it's his team, but he molded them into his players, kind of in a way. But if we sack him, it'd be such a stupid decision to make. But he's going to sack himself if he does not pull players out, if he doesn't change the system. Because the Premier League teams have found us out, Brentford last year when we played them home, we're like, oh God, Liverpool at home now. They're leading. It's going to be a tough one. Just trying to lose humiliatingly, boys. Now they're looking, okay, we can go at them. We can win here. We can't, like, after Palace game, I was like, okay, we can go at them. Now they can beat us. They can go to the game saying we could get 3 points here. This could boost us up. How sad? We're Premier League champions. That's not a comment. That's not something that should be said um, by other teams, especially teams like Brentford, who were 16th or 15th before this game happened. We're dropping down the table. We're not winning games. And I don't know how we're going to pick up momentum again. Oh, we needed the game like I think Frankfurt should have boost us up again. Like Frankfurt should have capital. We won 5-1. We've won convincingly. We won for the first time in a while. We won in the Champions League. If that doesn't boost you, then what will? Like, if we play our team from last year, we would get beat about 6-0. Especially if we played the way we play against Man United. The way we play against Man United was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. I've supported Liverpool for 7 years now. It was diabolical. The build-up play was slow. We like the chances were just going absolute nowhere, just poor. First time watching Elfin do stream. I don't. This is kind of like the first proper stream I'm doing. I'll try to stream more, but like, I just wanted to stream now because I'm just really angry and I don't want to put that into like a less than 3 minute video. So, yeah. Uh, so I'll try to keep streams more regular, but look, let's just see how it goes. Um, I really never thought we'd go this slow, especially at the start of the season. When this was problems stemming from the Bournemouth game, but we're able to get the game over the line. Then it happened at Newcastle. Then it kind of happened against Arsenal, but we got away with it because they didn't score. Burnley, we were just really lackluster and poor. And then we had a Lecce, which they made us pay. But then it was around at Lecce and Everton where our luck just ran out, and we just lost all confidence now. And there was one point throughout the game where I see players just give up. I saw Lewis Potter near the end was like dancing around Gomez, and he's about to put him across, and Gomez just stopped. He didn't put a foot in. He didn't try to block it, and he wasn't in an area where if he put a foot in, he's risking an own goal. He just stopped. He just said, "Oh fuck it, don't care." That's the attitude our longest serving player has. That's their confidence level. That's the whole team's confidence level. How sad is that? How depressing is that? And for shouts for Gomez to start, lads, Joe Gomez has some great games in him, but he has just as many, if not more, utter stinkers. Do we not remember Real Madrid in the round of 16? Do we remember how Benzema not just put him on toast, he put him 6 feet under? Like, do we not remember that? Like, he could go on a good run, but he could go on a real bad run. Um, do like obviously right now emotions are running high. We've just lost. Do I really think that we are out with the title race completely? Not yet, but we're getting there. Arsenal don't look like they're stopping. Man City are finding their groove. You have teams like Bournemouth are even entering the top four race. Man United, who are trying to pick up momentum. I am not saying for 1 second Man United are title contenders. God no. I hope that'll never happen in my lifetime, but probably will. God no. But they're starting to improve. They are ahead of us in the league table. I would have bet my whole house at the start of the season that that wouldn't have happened at any point, and it has. And that just makes me utterly depressed to see Manchester United, same team that lost to 17th place Spurs in the Europa League final, be better than us, be better than the Premier League champions. What we failed to do in the summer was buy a centre back, and that's bit us. Mark Wahe should not have taken till deadline day to try and get done. That deal should have been done, dusted in June. He is a Premier League proven centre back. He's English. He's England's best centre back. He was keen to join Liverpool. He really wanted to do. The fee wasn't that outrageous. It should not have been that hard. I would have expected the Vert deal to go on that long, or the not the Frimpong deal, kind of the Kirkus or the um Akachika deal. It made sense why the Isak deal went that long, but it made no sense. I know we stopped it for Diogo, which I completely respect and was the right decision, but by early August, by Community Shield, we should have had him. Like maybe not play him, but just had him contract signed, number picked, all that. And now we have fear that like he's not gonna go in January. He's gonna stay out the season. Now we have fear that like Man City and Bayern are in the race, and he's a free agent, so he could still be keen on joining Liverpool. However, if Man City give more money and Bayern give more money, would you blame him for not choosing us? Especially if our form continues the way that it is, would you really blame him? Because I wouldn't. But we've had a centre back issue for 4 years now, and it's never been addressed. They've tried with Reece Williams playing him and Nat Phillips and getting in Ben Davies, like all those panic buys and Ozan Kabak, but they never properly addressed it. Like we need depth. There was times where we nearly had it because there's times we had Van Dijk, Matip, Kanate, Gomez, and all those boys in 2021, but now most of those are gone. Like we need we need to sign a centre back, and we need to sign a good centre back because we only have three. Kanate gets muscle injuries, Gomez gets longer injuries. So we need like we sold Kwanzaa for what? Why did we sell him if we're not going to get a new one? I don't think we should have sold him. I think we should have loaned him. I think that's would have been the better option. Um, I don't think we should have sold Vandenberg when we did. I think if we tried to convince him that he'd been playing, like look at him today. If we convinced him he's going to get more game time, then he could have stayed. But like we don't know the ins and outs. That could have been utterly his decision, and nothing we could have done about it. Even though if we convinced him that much, or if we paid him whatever, he probably still would have left. We just don't know that. With Brentford though, if we're moving on to Brentford, like they played very well. Like I knew we before the game started, I was thinking, okay, we need to be careful now because they're going to try long balls, they're going to try long throws. 4 minutes in, long ball goes over the top, and they played it smart. They played it where it was too far for Shad to reach, but close enough for Mamashvili to kick out, not pick up. And he kicked it out for a throw in, and they did a long throw in, and there you go, goal, simple goal. And I just sat there thinking, interesting. Kirkes is not tracking his runner properly. He's not in front of him. He's fell asleep. Fell asleep. That's why you should start our veteran left back, our vice captain, our better form left back, instead of left back who's struggling to adapt to a new role, new team, new tactics, and is playing immature, picking up yellow cards. And look, good goal, but right place, right time. Robertson would have scored it. If I was playing left back, I probably would have scored it as well. You know? So he getting bonus points for that. The defender, there's one point where the ball came over and he just dove and like slightly headed it. I was thinking, is this Phil Jones at left back? I've seen Phil Jones back and they do that so many times. I think Phil Jones is wearing a Kirkhead mask. And he also got a yellow card in 30 minutes. I was like, Slot, please just sub him. You did it against Burnley. You're not afraid to do it. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what's the plan with Kirkes. And I seen a video of fans being asked of the flop signing, and obviously some of them said Verts because they're fools. But one said Kirkes, and the reason was because he said he thought he'd slot in straight away. And I see that, and I'm thinking, well, you need to read between the lines here. You need to really look at this more. He's moving to a bigger team. He's being played into a different role with a lot more pressing than Bournemouth. So it's going to be hard for him to adopt. If we signed, I don't know. Actually, if he went to City, probably I'd make that argument, but he didn't. He's at a different team. With a different role for him. So I wouldn't, and he's still really young. So he's not a like 28 established centre back. I'd expect Guehi to slot in perfectly. I expected McAllister to slot in perfectly when he signed, and he did. But that's because Liverpool and Brighton at the time played the same way. That's because now, before the season, Liverpool and Palace played the same way. So uh, we have tough games, and if we can't beat our Brentfords, we'll hope to have a beaten Villas and the Cities and the Madrids. I just looked at our team today, and I just said to myself, imagine if we played like that against Mbappe and Bellingham and Hoyton and Chouamini and Trent. If we lose, lads, and Trent makes us look like fools, I'll never forgive you. I am from Ireland. Yeah, that's where I'm from. Um, so just more and more of same shit that we've seen this last month. But like, is the title really done? I don't know. I'm from Ireland too. Oh, that's great. Oh, good for you. I think the title's gone off us now, to be honest. Um, as it stands, yes, but like I'd still be very hesitant to say it. I'd still say we have about 30% chance to get back into the race. But for really Arsenal to drop points in the way that we have, that's the only way we could catch up to them. And we just have to win all the time. You know? Like, I really thought when we bet Arsenal, the title was ours again. If we just kept grinding out results. I'm not expecting, or I'm not wanting every game to play like Brazil 02. Ideally, I'd love it. I just want to win games. I don't care how ugly it is. I'll criticize it, do better. But at the end of the day, I'll say a win is a win. I'll take it. It's 3 points. We move on. I just want to win. Whether it is Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, I want to win. Carabao Cup, don't care. I really, if we lose midweek, I really don't give a shit. Because it causes less injury. And speaking of injury, Jones gone down with an injury. Apparently, it's a groin injury. Isak and Gravenberch like failed some fitness tests or something. Like Shek's just injured forever for I don't know what reason. Um, so we're entering an injury issue, and Frimpong also has a hamstring injury, and Allison. So we just need to be careful not to lose too many players and enter just an absolute crisis. Um, but like in the chat, do you think we're out the title race? Yes or no? I personally think currently, if I had gun to my head, absolute yes or no, no explanation, I'd say yes, we're out, because you can't lose like what 4 or 5 Premier League games on the bounce and win a title, especially in today when Arsenal are as good as they are, and as Man City are getting their groove back on with Haaland firing. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't think the Champions League's done yet, especially now since we've won 2 games and lost one. And if you did ask me before the season started, I would have said I'd prefer us to win the Champions League over the Premier League, because we haven't won it in 6 years. I was heartbroken, absolutely devastated when we lost in 2022. So I'd love to witness us win the Champions League again. But either or, I'll take. I'd like winning the Premier League was fantastic, and it's a moment that ideally I'd like all fans to witness. Especially for smaller clubs like Brentford's. Um, but like it's just ain't gonna happen. For either of us really. I just don't know if Arsenal now, their only enemy really left is themselves. Will they combust again like they did in 2023? Will they sabotage themselves? Because Arsenal seemed unstoppable in 2023. All it takes is just one injury, or maybe now because they're stronger, multiple injuries to a Saka or Saliba, or well, maybe not Saliba now, but Gabriel. If Arsenal in March had longer like injuries for Saka, Gabriel, and probably Odegaard, that could put them in bother. And they're like hamstring injuries that extend out to June. That could put them in real bother. Easily could put them in a real serious issue here. But I don't think they could combust as easily as they did in 2023, because Madueke could fill in Mosquera and Moreno. So they're a better team. But when you have puppets and you lose the strings, they're just dolls. I mean, you can still use them, you can still play with them, but you can't move them around the same way you used to. That's how I'd look at Arsenal at the moment. Um, our situation at the moment is if you cut the puppets off the strings and burnt the puppets, and you're just left with the strings. Like you can't wave the strings around and pass them off as puppets. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Um, and Slot needs a complete new slate to save us at the moment. Whether it be starting and dropping players, whether it be changing our tactics, because I think we've been figured out. And it's something that happened to Conte in his second season at Chelsea. They won Premier League more dominant than we did, and they got found out immediately. But Conte's tactics were a lot more peculiar. He had the same situation of Amron and of Oliver Glasner, but it wasn't common then. So it was extraordinary that they found him out. But slot play is a very common system, so it's not that hard to find this out. Um, like Brentford today exploited long throws. I thought they'd exploit long uh, balls over more. I thought they'd just give it to Keller and just hissed up the pitch. and hope Thiago wins it. But they relied a lot more on long throw-ins, and I think it was the first or second one worked. So there you go. Um, something I actually have not mentioned before I end the stream. Actually, something I have not mentioned fully was the refereeing. I honestly could not believe the shambles and the corruption of the refereeing today. We had the penalty came with Gakpo. It's weak, right? Barely touched him. But with Thiago, I think it was, I don't know, it was a Shada. Whoever it was, barely touched him. Barely did anything to him. And the ref stops the game for 5 whole minutes. 5 whole minutes. Not even 1 minute. 5 whole minutes. And he gives a penalty. And yes, there is the minor bit of contact. However, there was not enough for him to fall the way he did. It is a dive. We need to send these referees back to school because they don't know what dive is. A dive is not just where you fall when no one's touched you. You know, if I like kicked a player in like the shins and they fell backwards, and that's a dive. You know, I tapped them on the shins. They fell in a way you don't fall if you get kicked in the shins. This guy got kicked at the sole of his foot and fell forward, like jumping wise. Pure dive. And it was so delayed as well. And they looked at that for 5 whole minutes and gave it. You know, and the referee gave it as a free kick. Because, like, yeah, obviously free kick rules are different than penalty rules. But I was thinking, oh shit, that's in the box. And that'd be looked dumb if we just overruled it. So they just went with it. But I think what they did was a worse decision. And Mamashvili did not play badly, but he made it so obvious. He might as well have told him, all right, I'm going to go to my right. Slot in. Like, he made it so obvious. I'll think about my player ratings and I'll post them later because I feel like if I did them now, I may be a bit unfair to certain players, but some players I'll be utterly fair to. Like there's some players I'm not changing my ratings. Like spoiler alert, I'm giving Salah 2, I'm giving Kirk as a 2. I feel like with players like Gakpo, I can really think about their situation. Like, were they as good as I think they were? Were they as bad as I thought they were? Because really, after a game, I think giving player ratings, it's fine to give your reactions a few minutes after the game, but giving player ratings 10 minutes after game when the emotion is still raw and you're still fucking livid, then obviously you're going to give harsh scores, you're going to say things you don't mean. So the game's finished about nearly an hour at this point, so I think now if I give it a bit more thought, I can properly give it. Um, so yeah, look, that's the end of the stream. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for everybody who tuned in to watch it. Make sure to tune in for the player ratings later on. Thanks very much for watching, and let's pray that Liverpool can fight their way out of this.